lesson learned. Guess what? Keep your finger away from the sprocket.
Yeah, it's a life.
That's government fog. Be careful.
This is wild. Are you double vision? Am I what? Am I Asian? I'm driving while Asian. Oh no, that's funny. I was saying, are you seeing double vision? I can't fucking see shit. There's a car 4 lengths in front of me and I can barely see its tail lights. It's insane. And the fact that I'm half blind, I'm only half blind because I'm half Asian. And I'm sitting behind a windshield. Beef, man. What's the other half? Dutch. Really? Okay, I'm Dutch.
So you're into solar power?
Ah.
Be careful out there, kid. Just watch the white line. It doesn't matter. Just can't look in front of you at that point. You gotta just watch the white line.
See, I can't fucking find it. Holy shit. I'm doing like 15 miles an hour right now. This is the worst fog I've ever been in.
That's because they're moving nuclear missiles. now, it feeds our reality. At some point, we will see the aliens that we perceive. Mankind is too smart just to hang out on Earth.
What the difference is? The last 100 years, people have come a long way. More money, cars, just barely travel. We'll probably have space travel where they don't have to visit. I don't know. Maybe they'll have space travel where they don't have to use mechanical method of doing it. That'll be a nice thing. I'll never get to see that.
You know, you may never get to see it, but you do get to be a part of it. I mean, 150 years from now, people living in our houses will never know who we are. You know, they only know who they are. And our progression and our wants as coming up, but for now, I'm like, right, you are it's going to push us forward. Yeah, I mean, to the next galactic or so to say. Cool, thanks. Yeah, I mean, you know, I always wish I could have been born 100 years later, 100 years earlier. God damn, I would have loved to have been a gunslinger. But 100 years in the future, just to sit back and go, okay, you know what I mean? You gotta realize every 50 years, society only knows women here, right? They don't really. A little bit of us dwell on the past, or not dwell. We look at the past and go, you know, the Egyptians, the Dark Age, all the scary shit of the past, and we're pushing forward. And like you just said, the next 100 years is going to be like the last 5,000 years in human experience, because the progression of the Industrial Revolution and everything we're going through now. I mean, we're light speed almost, and beyond light speed, what is the next thing? I mean, that's all we can imagine now, right? So at some point, just like we imagined the 60s, you know, we're cruising around in Star Trek and BBO Scott and all that bullshit, our drive for that manifestation is going to push us towards that. And there's nothing that's going to stop it. You know what I mean? Even the choice of you, say the majority of mankind was wiped out by a lot, or just by mankind. Those people who will be left over will carry us into something we still can barely imagine today.
Well, we're pretty far away from that. I mean, you know, if you think about it, we're pretty heavily dependent on the wheel.
But are we?
You pretty much can't go anywhere without it.
I don't know, they're levitating stuff with frequency now. There's there's the next level of ingenuity and things that are progressing is up and beyond that. I mean, let's just go back to Back to the Future with, what's the shaky fuck, I forget his name. But the hover skateboard and just working on frequency. Dude, we're talking on frequency right now, which is the key to everything, right? Like I said, if we could just see it around in another 100 years and sit back and have another conversation, I think a lot of it is magnetic resonance. It's magnetic. It's just what we're on right now. You know, everybody gyrating each other. Even in our conversation, we're where we can find a difference in each other. You know, that is the frequency. You know, but I think our key is through just through a weird way to say the airwaves.
I don't know about all that, you know, TV, the internet is not reality. Try driving to work on your balcony.
I drove home from work many times on the balcony. Made traffic a lot easier.
There were wheels on that vehicle though, and without those wheels, you ain't going nowhere.
But the wheels were only so many years old within the generation, right? We're progressive. You know what I mean? So the wheel was just a stepping stone to some point in everything. You know what I mean? I understand where you're coming from, because we're highly dependent on the wheel today. It's probably one of the greatest inventions of all time. Without it, yours wouldn't be. There's a lot of rolling circumference things, so to say, that are out there. But there's also the next thing, something that only the progression of mankind can bring to thought. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of time before we keep rolling down the road, so to say.
Well, we'll see. Who knows? Right now, we're still very heavily dependent on the wheel. So we haven't progressed that much. All that stuff you're talking about is really cool and all that. You know, it looks great on the TV. But it's not part of reality. So at least not in our daily lives. So, you know, we'll see. I mean, you know, the UFO stuff and all that, you know, they talk about. They may have that technology, they may not. I've seen people that can't explain. So if they do, they're not going to just make it available for everyone. So maybe it's actually ancient technology. You know, who knows? You know, it's nice to talk about that stuff. Interesting, right?
Always interesting. That's interesting. No, I feel you. I mean, your heart's on a frequency. These frequencies that keep you alive a lot of the times with the pacemaker. That's my outlook on the whole thing. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I'm an optimist, not a pessimist, so I can always see the big thing is wavelength is one of the biggest things in the world, dude. Magnetic resonance. It's so much in who we are, what we are, and what we will be in the future. But I mean, I guess time will always tell, right?
Yep, technology. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The advancement in technology. It's pretty amazing. Some areas it's really progressed. It's pretty amazing, especially in the medical field, right? And you know, combustion engine. A lot of technology. You see those rockets coming down, where they come down backwards so they can reuse them, you know. It looks so futuristic. Even you know, if you were to take a cell phone just back to the 60s or, you know, early 70s, show somebody a little TV screen like that that's on their phone, it'd blow them away, you know. So, yeah. Thought that kind of technology could be possible. Microsoft, right? How they're able to put all that in the palm of your hand, all that technology, all that tiny freaking shit that they do, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. You have Whiskey Yankee uniform, Kilo Mike 6 Whiskey Yankee uniform, Tommy Anderson. And like everything you just talked about, dude, magnetic resonance. It's all part of the game, dude. It's that is our future, that's our current society revolves around, you know, right now. And we all jive around it, but I feel you, dude. It's, God, I wish, like I said in the beginning, if I could just be around 100 years from now and look back and go, oh shit. You know, I mean, because even now, I look back on our past, and I just go, okay. You know, I mean, what they were doing was a fight for freedom, and you know, all the BS behind all the political stuff. And all the outcome of that was the smart guys, right? From the V2 and you know the self-guided rocket to just the next level. People get weird about the satellites and all the weird shit. But that's, and one day we'll walk on Mars. I couldn't even fathom that at this moment. But you know, it all starts with the frequency, right? Because that whole trip out there is going to be on a frequency. We're going to be talking to them on frequency. It all, on the basics, falls back to, I guess, being on. Oh my God,
KI6OWL. I guess they gotta go to the moon first, so they have to reprove that they've been there. So we'll have to go back there first. I thought it was easier to go to Mars from the moon. So, who knows, man? The technology is becoming so advanced in that area, and movies, stuff I see online is mind-boggling. Real looking when it clearly isn't. It's not even possible. But they make it look real. So, unless I'm going to Mars, I really don't care.
Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Arthur C. Clarke.
Yep. The fog clear.
Mine is cleared.
Yeah, it was like that over here this morning. Pretty foggy.
Yep, all through the San Gabriel Valley. I get over here to Pomona, and it's crystal clear.
Well, maybe that's what we're going to get this year instead of rain. Oh, we had a lot of rain last year. I even put steps out on the carport here in the trailer park so I could get to my truck without stepping in the dirt. And it hasn't even rained.
Fog is suspended rain.
Yeah, huh? So, you know, we're getting the moisture.
Moist.
I want to say they said we're on the schedule for the driest preseason yet.
Yeah, I saw that. That's kind of wild. Was it back in the 80s?
Preseason?
Yeah, we experienced this dry spell. Got all the way to January 1st. So usually when the rain season starts in late fall, it's like usually at the end of October we start getting rain, and then it starts kicking up periodically. We get some nice weather in between, but it's super dry compared to all the other averages.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's so hard to tell, you know. Who knows what it was like 1,000 years ago. I mean, this is just normal. It's hard to judge, right? Something that's been around for so long. What its averages are in 100 years. So I don't know. But it's been like this before. I clearly remember, going the whole year without any rain. So it's not just in the last 30 years or so. It's not something that hasn't happened.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's not extreme, but it's on the drier side. So we've seen it in the last 100-something years that we've been tracking weather. But I agree with you. We don't know what the weather was like on a daily basis several hundred years ago, let alone thousands of years ago. There's some clues though that we have, and there's some people who like to use those clues to push a politically weaponized narrative around extreme environmental change, which is all bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And they can't have it both ways, Is it billions of years old or isn't it, So it's like, you can't have it both ways. But as long as you're aware of it, it doesn't really matter.
I just want to know where all the glaciers went before global warming.
They find some airplanes and stuff that defrosted. They were under the snow and stuff. So how'd they get there? Right? It must have been cold. Must have been warmer before, right?
Must have been tens of thousands of years ago.
Airplane.
You guys noticing all the crazy volcanic activity that we've been experiencing around the Ring of Fire?
Just another day.
No, I haven't noticed it.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. There's so many volcanoes that have suddenly become active.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking maybe that big star over there probably has a lot to do with the way the Earth reacts.
Our nearest star?
Yeah, the nearest star probably has a lot to do with it. Maybe we're closer to it now. Who knows?
I'm really surprised that mankind is surprised at how the Earth has continued to form itself over millions of years.
Don't you think, though, that somebody knows? I mean, I get the feeling that somebody knows.
What?
Like what's really going on, what the truth is, where we're really at, what I mean?
But now you're...
Yeah, I don't know, it might be a little more difficult to actually know the truth, especially when it requires lots of observation over long periods of time to be objective about it. But I can tell you definitively what is not true, anything you hear the government say.
Right, that's what makes you question it, right? Because they're liars.
Exactly.
Nobody knows the truth. Only time will tell.
But I think somebody does. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows the truth. They must know because, you don't stick your hand in the fire or do these things without knowing. So that's just crazy. Some of the stuff that they were doing, back in the day, it seems pretty crazy. Maybe they didn't, but it makes me wonder. Somebody must know, right? There must be some humanoid or something,
I don't know, it could be a whole bunch of stupid chance. Every human which was not dumb enough to do something to kill themselves, nature selected for. So chose genetically to perpetuate the genes that chose wisely. We are a series of genetic successes over tens of thousands of years.
I guess you would do those things. You would do those things if you believed that you would be reincarnated, right?
Oh, that religious hocus pocus? Nah.
Don't put your hand in the fire.
Is that religious? That's not religious. If you were to come back, right, your spirit comes back, right, you come back, right, you are you, right, so you would do those things for the future, you know, shape the future for yourself, you know, being reincarnated, right?
Yeah, I'm certainly willing to believe anything, no matter how crazy sounding, given sufficient evidence. And every time I listen to somebody who says that they can channel their former incarnations, I just don't see anything that's definitive. Like, I don't have any knowledge of a prior life. And the few people that do claim it are just, you know, they're scam artists. So, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, I'd be willing to believe it given sufficient evidence, and I haven't seen enough evidence.
Yeah, true that. So true. Other than the behavior, you know, is really the only thing. But yeah, that's always seems to be the case. There's like never any evidence. You know, yeah. It's like you know, the UFO sighting that it's never in focus. You know, Bigfoot. You know, you never see him clearly.
Loch Ness monster.
That goddamn Bigfoot.
Right. And then the guy that, like, you know, claims to be able to, you know, talk to dead relatives. He asks all kinds of questions before, you know, he even pretends that he can talk to your relatives. Yeah, scam artist, right?
Everybody gathers around the Ouija board, and you swear you're not pushing.
Bourbon, have you ever seen the movie Witchboard?
Negative.
It's scary. It's about the Ouija board.
Have you ever seen... Was Jumanji, did they have a Ouija board too?
They did, those freaky fucking people.
Yeah, I don't remember it very well. I'm very fond of a Morrissey song called Ouija board.
You know, as a kid growing up, I didn't believe in much, but I didn't watch a lot of movies. I still don't watch a lot of TV or movies and stuff, but that movie, Witchboard, my buddy Jason showed it to me, and dude, as a young, I want to say it was like 80, God, it had to came out 84, 85. It was about the Ouija board, which is kind of it's a soul thing, right? It's a freak. Something about that movie, dude. You know, it's the unknown. It's kind of like Freddy Krueger, you know what I mean? He's in your dreams. He's not in your reality.
My imagination. It was my imagination that scared the fuck out of me. I literally could not watch any of the Twilight Zone. They freaked me out so bad. I got so nervous watching it. I had to get up and hide behind the couch. And I didn't even want to listen to it. I would cover my ears. It fucking scared me so bad when I was a young kid. It makes me laugh now. But my God, I was so fucking afraid of it.
Dude, I slept in the closet. After watching the Witchboard movie, dude. I slept in the closet.
An M. Night Shyamalan one. Who the fuck was in that? I can't remember the name of the movie.
You ever see that shit like online where they'll take like it just looks lean or like bread, and then it'll like mutate into like animals, chickens or something? You ever seen how they do that?
No.
It's some sort of, I would imagine, some sort of software program or something. You see it on Facebook sometimes. So it looks like bread or some kind of cookie, you know, like a pasta or something, and then it starts to move around, and then it turns into like animals.
Oh, so it's just kind of, it's like an amorphous blob. Pushes around and takes shape.
Yeah, exactly. But it looks so real, you know, the way that it's, there's no glitch or anything. Usually you can tell. I mean, if you watch old footage, you know, like Star Wars, you can see the how they did it, you know. You can see, you know, that technology doesn't seem as advanced as it was when we first saw it. When we first saw it, it was like, we really thought that they were floating around in space, and it looked real, you know. And now it looks fake, you know, and now they have this really advanced, you know, software to make things look just incredible. I mean, they could. There was a video I just saw of like a bunch of politicians at the beach, you know, and it looked like them. You know, it actually looked real.
There is a YouTube called the Door Brothers, DOR, and they've been doing a lot of political AI videos. It's fucking insane, dude. It's like this really driven music, and all the political world players like Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump and fucking Mark Zuckerberg and Putin and Barack Obama. It's just this crazy shit. Like Mark Zuckerberg walking around with a lizard on his shoulder, and he goes and meets his lizard overlords, and Trump is walking around in a jumpsuit. And he's like fucking sporting a gun. Like he's a goddamn gangster.
Yeah, the ridiculousness of it makes you believe it's not real, but it's so real looking. It looks so real. The one I was watching just recently, it was Zuckerberg and Bill Gates at the beach as gay lovers wearing Speedos. And it's like, you can't, if you didn't know it was fake, you would think it was real.
Airport 7 on 3rd ground.
The power of humor.
It's crazy though. I mean, you think about it, they could really do some crazy shit, you know. And how would you know? You know, I mean, how would you know what the truth is?
Yeah, it's getting to a point where you have to be really skeptical of everything you see and doubly skeptical of everything you hear.
I mean, that goes back to even in the 80s. with the movie magic. Remember the word movie magic? I mean, before CG. Like, what those guys did with the camera and the miniatures, dude, all that shit they did was next level.
Do you ever watch the video of like the old footage of like the nuclear bomb explosions and blowing up all? Those are miniatures, dude.
Oh yeah, you see the car. The car's like not there 1 second, and then all of a sudden it shows up.
It's like totally fake, you know.
They didn't come up with the word programming for nothing.
Yeah, that's all propaganda right there, man. We were trying to show or prove to the world that we had something that we didn't have ahead of time. That was all fucking propaganda, man.
But then we had it. Oops.
They may not even have it. You don't even know. They've never used it since then.
No. The 100,000 lives that we lost in Japan and the 2 bombings. I mean, we lost more people. They killed more people during the fire bombings. But all that shit's definitely real. We got there. We did it. And it was horrible. But the video... The stupidest part about the video is like, what happens to the camera? Nothing happens to the camera. Everything is fucking blown away, but the camera's like 100% fine.
Yeah, but the narrative's not there. You know, the fallout didn't last 1,000 years. Yeah, they bombed the shit out of that place, absolutely. You know, those are huge fire bombs, but there's no nuclear fallout.
Oh, there was millions and millions of people who died in the long term of that, and it definitely, man has been wrong about fallout right before. Well, just man has been wrong before, period. So yeah, they built back on the site and everything, but no, that was a big boom. It was definitely once again something mankind had chased after. When they have the, I guess you call it the carrot in front of the donkey. Yeah, I mean, they do chase things, dude. Just like the space race. Internet, you know, what is the next level? It's something, it's the old carrot in front of the donkey where we always need to chase it.
So they burned somebody's shadow into the ground. It was so bright, it burned somebody's shadow into the ground.
Oh yeah.
And you believe that?
There's a whole group of people that used to live on, God damn, I forget the name of it. Yosemite. What is the island that they did all the testing on? The people that lived on the island, God dang, why is this on my mind right now? They moved them, right? The American government came in there and said, listen people, we're going to take you, we're going to put you on this island, you're going to be okay, you can do your same thing, move on. God, why is the island forgetting my name right now? Either way, and then they went and they started all this stuff, and those people still tell that story. You know, I mean, they got removed from their natural way of life as they've been for probably tens of thousands of years. Who's to say, right? Because history hasn't been really, truly recorded at that point, as it is in modern society. God damn it. Demi is full. I'm not that game. Why am I brain fart on it? Either way, they moved those people and now they're on islands that they can't even fish out of. And all of our testing that we did, even post-World War, proves that what we did during that time was the big bomb.
Pretty sure the island you're looking for is any Weetok. Talking about the thermonuclear tests that the U.S. Navy did, where they had ships out there that they wanted to see the effect. Vladivostok is the name of the atoll, the island.
That is it, and that was through the 50s, and that was beyond, like, once you finally set the magic you thought that it would be off, right? And it's all the testing that we did all the way into the 60s. We got the Soviets scared and started that whole Cold War. You know what I mean? And started the arms race. You know, everybody making the death faster machine, and that came from around the world, dude. It wasn't just us and the Soviets chasing it during. As a group, you know what I mean? Everybody is trying to be the next new, you know, but it was definitely Bimini. I forget the exact island that they started it on, which I have it in my unfortunate forgetting memory here. But it's like I said, you know, mankind is always chasing itself, dude. It's a scary thing. Chasing the same future, so to say. It can be devastating sometimes, and that's what happened during World War II. You know what I mean? It was, you know, people trying to dominate each other, and then finally we were like, nope, we are the people, and that's what the Americans. A lot of the boomers that's growing up as a kid, like I said, I'm 50 now, and they were very proud people. You know, they came back to a very courageous party and a rising of the spirit, so to say. And ever since then, it's been trying to, you know, mankind trying to one up that next level, and that's the.
I thought all of the nuclear testing that we did with those ships was at Bikini Atoll.
There was one atoll, I can't think this word, but Bikini was all kind of a whole group of people, and I'm going to forget the name of those people. But that whole, there was a lot that went, it wasn't just one test that we did down there, dude. It was test after test, and we moved ships down there, and we started moving ships up. The popular name of everything that happened down in that area. There you go.
I don't know. You can go there though, right? To Japan, right, where they drop the bombs and see the shot. You can go there, right?
And that's where I say mankind is probably a little bit wrong on some of the things created. To the next level as of now.
But you can go there, right? To Japan?
You can, but that was atom, not nuclear.
That's what I'm saying. The narrative isn't right. The narrative is a lie. You can go there. I'm not saying they don't have massive weapons. Just saying that, you know, when it's not the narrative that they said it was. It doesn't leave it uninhabitable for thousands of years.
And that's where I say sometimes a lot of, you know, not a lot of the time, but, you know, man is wrong a lot of the time.
Well, man's also been to lie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. More than once. Nixon.
I'm not a crook.
Nobody wins in a two-party system. That's when you all lose for sure.
And when they had that big earthquake, right, in Japan recently, fairly recently, and they had nuclear power there, the power plants, there's no talk about that. That seems to be okay now. So, you know, and then there's that guy, what was his name, Galen, I forget his name. He was a nuclear physicist or a nuclear engineer at 3 Mile Island. They used to go around putting nuclear waste in his mouth that guy, if you can find his videos on YouTube anymore. But yeah, he used to go around showing people how safe it was and how they turned that nuclear power plant on and off. And they used to swim in the water, and it's totally safe. It's called nuclear power. So they usually don't put words like clear in things that are toxic. So I just think that it's a narrative that's been created to keep people away from it, not to use it.
I read a very odd article the other day, and I don't know if I can believe it or not, or get into it deep, but they talked about the 3 Mile Island area. Remember the 3 Mile Island disaster back in, I think it was early 80s. But they talked about refiring one of those reactors in that zone to power the new AI system and computer that they need. It needs that much power to run the system. And it's Google-powered AI. I don't know how deep it is. I think it's too far in the research of it, but they were talking about refiring this reactor to help power this plant to help obviously create the energy to run this AI technology. But like I said, I had to do a little more research. I read it a couple of weeks ago. I was like, that's kind of interesting. You know what I mean? But it'd be interesting to see if that does happen.
Yeah, that is interesting. Who knows? I think they don't want to use it for other reasons. It's not safe. Perhaps there's not enough of it. Maybe it's supply and demand. It's hard to say. But I think the narrative that it's unsafe is incorrect. They were lying about that. Uranium isn't as dangerous as they say it is. I'm sure, anything that's burning you can't inhale, but I don't believe the narrative that it leaves an area uninhabitable for thousands of years. And Galen Windsor said in his videos that you can't make a bomb out of it, so I don't know.
Little info I just confirmed about Eniwetok. Eniwetok is the island where the residents were removed a number of times for U.S. nuclear testing during the Cold War. Now, the Bikini Atoll may have been part of it, but the Bikini Atoll is about 190 miles to the west of Eniwetok. So that's what happened.
There it is, Weetok. That name just ringed a bell there. I'm sorry, my dumb diabetic brain uses some of the information along the way, but Weetok, that was one of the early days. That was the early days. Bikini was all part of the byproduct